5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Are you sitting comfortably?
What do you want me to say?
Then we'll begin.
I hope you enjoy it. I think you will.
So, Steve, what fond memories do you have of these people? Are they your friends?
The force of gravity makes you want to move. It runs up your body and
Stop playing with that radio of yours. I'm trying to get to sleep.
Fade down, wrong fader. Let us launch that helicopter this evening down to the Phluid FM satellite studios. Not in Liskeard, but there you go. We're not in Liskeard. How you doing? Did you come? Did you get to the relay event down at Liskeard Rugby Club at the weekend? What a superb event! Topped up my tan. A little bit more down there this weekend. It was lovely. A bit more about that a bit later. A few shout outs to some of the guys and girls involved with that. Plenty of money was raised. I think the weekend, off the top of my head, raised next to a £3,500–4,000 for Cancer Research UK, bringing their total up to about £27,000 for the year. So it's all good, isn't it? Well, so the Wider Woke Club is back with a vengeance. We're going to discuss the weather. Why not? It's been Scotcho. To go look at the good weather, of course, we're going to be discussing beer drinking. With beer. Common mishaps. Or as Dennis Nord had it once, mishaps. Secrets of a long life, well, it's avoiding mishaps and drinking beer. And dunking biscuits. Dunking of biscuits. And of course we do have the news just after 8 o'clock. We're here live till 9. Let's get on those birthdays. Well, 92 years young today. He's blowing 92 candles. Call the fire brigade. Clint Eastwood. Call the fire brigade and make his day, punk. Yeah, he's 92. He couldn't sing them, and there was a Clint Eastwood song by Gorillaz, but I don't know, not really appropriate, is it? Let us have instead. He was born this day in 1948. Sadly, we lost him in 1980. Mr. John Bonham, the drummer, the top drummer for Led Zeppelin. Let's have it, shall we? Whole lot of love. Hey, whole lot of love there. Led Zeppelin celebrating the birthday, if he'd have survived, of Mr. John Bonham. Let's do a couple more things from this day in history. On this day, 1911, the White Star Liner Titanic was launched in Belfast. At the ceremony, a White Star Line employee claimed not even God himself could sink this ship. And he didn't, it was an iceberg. Well, that's got on this day, 2004. Very important day, Peppa Pig premieres on Channel 5. And on this day, 2005, former E17 singer Brian Harvey is critically injured when the old plum falls under the wheels of his convertible outside his home in Walthamstow. Let us do another birthday. 71 today. Very strange this is. Karl Bartos. He's from Kraftwerk, you know. Also, the same birthday as his fellow band member Fritz Hilbert. Let's have some of that. Let's have a bit of model work, shall we? Where are we? Well, the weekend was awesome, wasn't it? Really cracking weekend. I can't hear myself. I'm sure you can hear me though. Cracking bit of weekendage. We'll do some about the relay a bit later on, but it says it's going for a nice week. We know it's already hot this week. With nice weather, it is saying pubs have sent an SOS to breweries for more beer after bank holiday revellers threatened to drink them dry. It says here landlords across the region were forced to order extra deliveries to avoid a bank holiday booze drought on the busiest 2 days of the year so far. It says here beer sales rocketed by 56% as pub goers knocked back 65 million pints with the heat wave and long weekend, creating perfect beer garden conditions. Can you imagine that was weather forecast? Yes, a bit of sun this evening, making lovely long weekend beer garden conditions. It comes, of course, as we bask in temperatures hotter than Benidorm with highs of 21 degrees over the weekend, and we could get a 26, it says, later this week. Experts have predicted another 10 days of glorious sunshine as a high pressure system blows over. Temperatures will climb to 22 today in many areas, nudging 25 in London, 26 in Scotland by Thursday. That's going to make their haggises steam over there, isn't it? And speaking of the good weather and speaking of bank holidays, apparently we are suffering from bank holiday fatigue, with most of us just staying local and sitting in the sunshine this weekend. Apart from the good people of Liskeard that came out to the rugby club and support us down there. 26% think more cash is spent making the most of a 3-day weekend compared to average 2-day break. And 18% expect May to be their most expensive month after December. So we're going to keep the costs down and stay in the garden and enjoy the sun there. With a few pints, no doubt. Let's have another track. Very appropriate. It is The Beloved. Well, from the album there, Happiness, the sun rising, of course, The Beloved. Of course, whilst on air last week, delivered the very, very sad news of the demise of Tina Turner. So played a couple of tracks last week in tribute. Well, this week is no different. Because it is time for this. Which means I've got this here jingle.
Cover me!
Indeed. It's time for Cover Me, and it's 2 Tina Turner classics being covered. First one is Nutbush City Limits by Pseudo Echo, who did Funky Town, don't remember? Bit of Nutbush City Limits there. Pseudo Echo, of course, tribute to Tina Turner, who very sadly just died this time last week. We heard from that. And now it is simply the best. It's Bonnie Tyler, gravity voice herself, 60 a day, no doubt. Bags, not bags of gravel. Even though she does claim to be the best, not as good as the late great Tina Turner's very sadly lost last week. Well, folks, we haven't done it for a wee while. It is time for this.
We're wide awoke. It's good to know you're ready and you're wide awoke. So on your marks and guess they go. We're wide awoke.
Indeed, we are wide awoke. Oh, what has rung my woke bell this week? Well, it was yesterday. I was struggling to find anything. I mean, there's a load of idiots about, basically, at the moment. There's a lot of idiots about. I'm not even going to get into this morning's Schofield rubbish. I'm really not. Suffice to say, there's clearly no other news around at the moment. Talk about burying bad news. Let's just slag off Schofield, shall we? No, we've got other things more important. Clearly not even the same. Anyway, back to the wokeness. It says here, Dr. Kathleen Stock appeared at the Oxford Union just last night, and she was forced to temporarily halt her appearance. Basically, what she is a gender critical feminist. I don't know. Pull the bones out, make of that what you will. However, that's what she is. And yes, apparently. She had to halt her much contested appearance at the Oxford Union after a trans activist glued themselves to the debating chamber close to the Speaker's chair. Stock, who argues that transgender people quite rightly cannot expect all the rights afforded by biological sex, had been speaking over the sound of 200 people protesting outside about her invitation when a group of activists stormed the debating chamber on Tuesday. The trans rights protesters who waved flags and shouted slogans were booed by members of the audience, and some were escorted out by security. Another protester wearing a t-shirt saying "No more dead trans kids" glued themselves to the floor less than 2 metres from Stock's chair. Goes on to say Stock was urged by others to continue, but she said she could not go on until she's given the approval of security. Now, the thing that gets me here, you know, like I said the other week, protest as much as you want, but I don't see why. So, you know, clearly she's got her own opinions, rightly or wrong. That's her opinion, that she believes that trans people shouldn't have the same rights as you and I. You know, you can't be a man walking into a woman's change room just because you claim to be a woman. You know, she says you're born a woman, you're a woman. End of, basically. But no, she's not allowed to speak about it. Yet we can give copious amounts of airtime to these people, these activists. They can go and speak at Oxford Union. Oh yes, very important to be trans and to transition and be in the right body. They can speak. We as normal citizens aren't allowed to shout them down because we get told off. And speaking of, this goes for these Stop Oil Muppets as well. Right, another couple of things. So, Chelsea Flower show the other week. Me and you know, we can't take in a sandwich or a little bottle of drink for the day. No, we get stopped, security, frisked, chuck it in the bin. These Stop Oil idiots can take in bags of orange powder. Very, very odd. Yeah, going back to the other Stop Oil people, what's this gluing malarkey all about? I don't know what super glue they're using. I can never get super glue to stick anything together, let alone my hands to a road. So, you know, is it Gorilla Glue? Is it super glue? Is it super duper glue? What is it? I think the public need to know, more importantly, what glue they're using. Forget their issues, forget their trans right malarkey and Stop Oil. We need to know what glue's being used. Right, moving on, I think it is 15 minutes to the 8. If you're watching that clock this evening, let's have some more music. It's Plan B, because Plan A never worked. From the great 80s and 90s show, Elvis and Pet Joe Fagin there. That's Living All Right. Let's have a bit of this, shall we? Why not? There we go, you see, there you go. Looking at that clock, it is 8 minutes to the 8. So, may mention just now, of course, of the beer, the near beer shortage. Deary me. Well, another thing here, the boffins have been on. Love a boffin, don't you? Know, white-coated boffins. Yes, as beer drinkers who have been after the perfect pint for years should not fear the foam, say these boffins. Can't imagine a boffin drinking beer, can you really? Anyway, experts reckon the more froth there is in the glass, the less chance of the beer bloat, as it is better for the foam to erupt in the glass rather than the boozer's belly. Well, I'd rather it erupts in my belly, to be fair. I'll get a full pint what I paid for. Goes on to say, what job's that a beer historian? Anastasia Renard Miller of Bristol University said, "We've been chasing the perfect pint since beer's inception, roughly 13,000 years ago in Israel. Next time you order a pint, you should ask your bartender to pour the Amstel into an upright glass. What do you normally put in your hand?" It says here, Japanese company Nendo, sounds like a short version of Nintendo, Nendo. Well, they do chickens, mate, as well. Nendo Chicken has designed a beer can with 2 pulls. I've got on Wall of Pony on Tip of the Week, two pulls beer can, which they claim gives the perfect amount of foam. You don't want bloody foam, do you want a beer? I'm on the wine this evening. Anyway, got my little pottery tankard, as made by my brother-in-law, who's a potter. Very nice. It's Tulip and Malbec. A little slurp of that. It is now 6 minutes to the 8. Watching that clock. Two more tracks, I believe, before we go to the news at 8. It's time for Lily Allen. It is time for the news. I still get this really rubbish BBC bed underneath me. Anyway, let's get on with the news, shall we? It says here, gym bunnies are binging on junk food after finishing their workouts. Around 20% of fitness fans refuel with burgers and fried chicken, and 10% admit scoffing donuts, chocolate and sugary drinks. A poll has revealed those in Birmingham about loyalty to junk food, with Londoners not far behind. Keep Fit fans in Cardiff are the most likely to steer clear of junk food. In other news, Audi car owners are more likely to cheat than any other motorist, new surveys claimed. BMW drivers had previously had a wanted title. Thankfully, it's gone, so I've got a BMW, but were taken this year in a poll. You can't take a BMW ever. The survey also says owners of premium car brands are the most adulterous of all motorists. Car brands with the fewest number of adulterers were both French, with Peugeot and Renault drivers least like to stray. I think the Honda Jazz, personally. Who's going to want to go out of everyone's Honda Jazz? They drive really slowly. Speaking of being very, very slow, Shakin' Stevens is being lined up for this year's Strictly Dumb Prancing. A well-placed source has told us that the BBC has spent years trying to get Shaky on the show. Hopefully, he'll finally say yes. Others rumoured to be taking part include paraplegic TV host Sophie Morgan, not a clue she is, who would be Strictly's first wheelchair user. So this is the thing, I don't get this wokeness again, but why the BBC need to have every single type of disability represented on their shows? Emma, Matt Willis, Julia DeCampo, Peter Crouch, Amy Nuttall and Steph McGovern are also tipped for the show. I'm betting Schofield's not on there. Set to start in September. Along there you go, I just read that. Set to start along with Schofield, who's fans of a loose end. I don't know about Schofield's loose bloody ends personally. And finally, Britain's Got Talent. No, don't watch it either. Got off to a chaotic start on Monday night as Ant McPartlin accidentally slipped over on stage. Musa Motha and Amy Lou Smith got through to the grand final. Makes no sense to me either. The two acts fought off stiff competition from United to Dance, Jamal John, Ikiwawa, Enzo Wayne, Parkour Collective and Abby Carter Simpson. Does nobody have normal bloody names anymore? Anyway, that's for this week. It's the news. Let us have some more music.
Don't get hurt, can't feel anything.
It's Sear on a chandelier. Boy dear. The lovely weird Sear there, hanging and swinging from that there chandelier. I tell you what, it's time for. Let's get rid of that. I'm all at 6 and 7 this evening with things. It's rather hot in here, for one thing. I've got the window open. But yeah, it's rather warm. What I'm going to do is, I've lost what I'm trying to do. I need to play this, of course. This seems to be our theme for the Liskeard Relay. Even though it's over now, what a wonderful weekend we had. Myself down there, Leo was down there, and Neil, our roving photographer, got some cracking action, some cracking photographs with old Neil. Leo, we recorded the whole session, the whole, all the music, all the acts on stage, video and audio, and Leo's been working his little fingers to the bone all day to bring us some music for next week, hopefully. He's already put some up on FaceAche, so if you're on FaceAche, have a look on that. But I need to do a roll call of all the acts we had on there. So after a bit of a lengthy sound check, Luke Middleton appeared on the stage about 12:30. He, of course, wrote the song and performed Relay for Life. After that, we had the lovely Emma Blythe, and if you get a copy of the Cornish Times this week, I've written a piece. Hopefully, it's in. I've not seen it yet. Reviewing all these acts, but yeah, to my mind, she was a bit like Adele. Very good singer. I said to her when she came off stage, you can certainly record the next James Bond theme, I reckon. We're going to play him in a minute. Long Tide, who for a long time we called Longitude due to a few spelling mistakes on the programme. Barry from Long Tide was on, and we're going to play one of his tracks. He has an amazing voice. We're going to get him on the show one of these weeks. That was followed by Kerno Samba, a load of white-headed old ladies banging drums. They were good, actually. Joking aside, they were very, very good. Celtic Choir then came on, and they accompanied Luke Middleton again with another reprise of the Relay for Life song. And then getting into the evening, we had Adam Hinks, singer-songwriter, guitar player who likes spilling water on the stage. He was very, very bouncy with his playing. Very good singer indeed. Hopefully we get him on the shows, one of our shows, very, very soon, and hopefully do a live set for him. And then we had his girlfriend, Ellie Brunt. I'm going to get that wrong. Ellie Brunt. Too many L's in it. And she did the most wonderful. I'll tell you what, she set the bar high at the start. She came out with a Whitney Houston song. And I'll tell you what, she took the roof off the stage. Very, very good indeed. Bit of a musical theatre background, that certainly showed. But yeah, she kicked off with I Have Nothing With Houston. If you know that song, it's very, very high. And that was it. That was the end of day one. And I've got to say, during this time, people were walking around the rugby pitch doing their relay, 24-hour relay for life. People walk around the rugby pitch all day and all night. And then what was about 10 o'clock when it got dark? Very emotional, I've got to say. I've been sort of on stage all day and behind the scenes watching things. At this point, they arranged a load of tea lights in paper bags. Not as dangerous as it sounds, none of them caught fire. On these paper bags were written stories and dedications to people, and you'd walk around in the dark and it's completely silent, and you'd read the people that weren't here, that people were missed, their parents, there were children, there were uncles, aunties, nannies, granddads, brothers and sisters, family members. And it was all I could do to hold back the tears walking around the track. It was very emotional, I've got to say. And that was the end of day one. Day two, at very, very last minute notice, we got the Cougar Catchers. A new group, well, they're from the area, sort of Gunners Lake area. My nephew plays bass in it, but he couldn't come. He was working, so we got Ed and Griffin instead. And I tell you what a pair those two were. They said, only about 40 minutes or something, so he played an hour and a half. All in all, an absolutely cracking weekend was had by all. And if you check on the socials, we're all over that. There should be some bits and pieces on there. This, I've got to say, is a track by Long Tide. It's called Hurricane.
Turning around, roll along with the winds of change. And I've been talking now, in and out of sleep, feeling insecure, sure what's happening. Got to keep on moving now, maintain speed. To me, leave me with your mind is how I used to be. Healing time is what they said was all that I need. I'm trying to move on with feeling again. I'm trying to move on with feeling again. Decisions being made when I'm
That was Long Tide. You can find them on Spotify. And I hope we're going to get the guys in the studio, or certainly on Zoom one of these here days. What we are looking at 18 minutes past 8 if you're watching that clock. If you're watching on catch up or listening on catch up, made no sense whatsoever, as in most of my show at the moment. Let's have a look here. It says here, a 102-year-old woman revealed the secret to her long and happy life is good sex and good sherry. Not at the same time, hopefully. Joyce Jackman told us as she celebrated her birthday at a care home. She said, "I've had such a lovely day. I can't believe I'm 102. Must be all the chocolate I eat that's helped." Yeah, she was an extra for Monty Python, it would seem. She didn't mention the good sex and sherry, though, did she then? Just chocolate. There you go. Good sex, good chocolate, and good sherry. It says here, Joyce from Colchester in Essex says she worked in a sweet shop before joining the RAF as a chef during the Second World War. She married her childhood sweetheart, Terence Jackman, in 1945. And in other news, let's have a look at a biscuit dunking, shall we? It says here, whether it's malted milk or you fancy a custard cream, no good cup of tea is complete without a biscuit for dunking. With International Biscuit Day now here, one huge question remains: what is the best biscuit for dunking? I used to be on a radio station up in Berkshire a few years ago, and a good friend of mine still up there actually, Gary Paulson, did a show called Get Out with Gary. And every week he'd have the biscuit dunking challenge. He'd have a hobnob or a ginger nut, one or two, and they'd have to so they could submerge the biscuits in the hot beverage to fall apart. I know it was non-stop fun and games up there. It says here, researchers from University Hospital of Wales, well, they did it, but still, set out to answer this important question and completed a rigorous dunk test with 4 popular varieties. Their results revealed that the humble hobnob is the best for dunking, closely followed by digestive. Well, I've got to say, after our rigorous testing over in Berkshire, we found the ginger nuts quite good. I'll tell you what we're going to do now. We are going to have, because it's really nice outside, we're going to have a few sun-read songs. We're going to kick off with this one. Very ill-advised lyrics, don't drink and drive. Wow, there you go. That was the Loving Spoonful, Summer in the City. Where are we? South Somerlist. Let's get rid of that. We got another wonderful survey coming up. It says, girls here, girls. How long does it take you to get ready for a night out? A survey says, it says a whopping 8 hours and 19 minutes. A whopping 3 hours and 7 minutes of this is spent shopping for a new outfit. And a further 1 hour and 12 minutes is spent trying on various clothes and shoes. They then spend a further hour and 41 minutes organising the invite, text messages, phones and email conversations. See, that's the difference between us guys and girls. We send a WhatsApp, pub, at 7 o'clock, yeah, bish bash boss, jobs are good one. Not the girls, they got to organise it to an nth degree, haven't they? And of course, you know the girls coming round because the wife goes out and buys hummus and celery dips and things like that, and carrot sticks. Yeah, now the girls are coming round. Anyway, another hour and... I can say actually she's not here at the moment. I'll just double check she's not in. Another hour and 16 minutes is spent on treatment, such as a new hairdo, tanning and a manicure. The survey says that women are more interested in looking good for their girlmates, their girlfriends, than their other halves. Women spend just 40 minutes getting ready to go out with their man, throwing something on from the back of the wardrobe, according to a new study, or the floor. And they're more likely to wear something sparkly when seeing pals compared to a more casual frock. Frock? How old are these people? 80? It's on day off. My half wore a frock, I'd leave her. Terrible, we can wear frocks. She wears frocks, I'll wear slacks. Nice comfy jumper and slacks, people in a cardigan. Yes, enough of these silly sirs. Let's have some more summer music. Lana Del Rey. It's to Billy Idol, William Broad. He was known, of course, as Billy Idol at school. He was so lazy, apparently. Teachers called him Billy Idol. Real name William Broad, as we all know. Hot in the city, certainly hot in the studio tonight. I think it's time for a few more rants and a few more bants. So where are we? Yeah, this is apparently We Live Life on the Edge. I love living life on the edge, I really do. It says that 3/4 of us felt their life lacked excitement, so we thought we'd be a bit more edgy. And half of us admit we're not very daring. So other signs of living life on the edge include driving through amber light, the old amber gamblers, sitting in a first-class carriage and train, book standard ticket, and going out on a work night. I guess I used to commute quite a bit in a former life. And you book a ticket, it doesn't matter what class you're in, or you just book a cattle class ticket. You get on a train, I pay for a seat. No seats, right, straight to first class. Sorry mate, I pay for a seat. I'm not going to stand the whole way to London. And they know you can't sit there, it's first class. Well, it's bloody empty. Anyway, being the last person to board a plane is also on this list, along with eating cake for breakfast and eating food past its sell-by date. Other suggestions: living life on the edge, ordering something other than your usual in a restaurant, and staying up past 11 on a work. I do it every night. I don't get up very early. Got a list of things. I think a lot of us do this. Number 1 is booking a holiday if we've got the money to pay for it. Everyone does that. Face it, in January after Christmas, I'll sod that, book a holiday. Yeah, I'll pay for it later, don't worry about that. I do this one. Driving with a petrol light on with a little petrol left. I get there like when it says 20 miles left, it's like shouting at me. Buying something frivolous that would take you to overdraft. Yeah, petrol usually. Or printer ink. Having an alcoholic drink at lunchtime. I can't work out. I've got no use after lunchtime if I drink. I'm terrible. Not closing the curtains or blinds when you quickly get changed. We live in the middle of nowhere, which doesn't really bother us. All we get offended the sheep, basically. Sheep update next week, by the way. We've gained a few more since. Driving against the arrows around a car park. I'm always getting lost, so that's me all the time, really. The biggest one ever, like I say, is driving with your fuel light on and then ignoring a petrol station. Do that at your peril, though, folks, I've got to say. This, I've got to say, is my ultimate summer's evening song. You can play this song, you can feel yourself out there by the not by the barbecue. Well, you can have a barbecue, but just sitting out the garden, chilling. It's a lovely evening outside, so take your music out there with you. It's Style Council. Oh, you can't beat a long, hot summer. Style Council, of course, they're Paul Well and the boys. This track I have not heard or played for a very, very long time. From late 80s, it's from the self-titled album, Robbie Robertson. Wow, that is nearly it for the evening. As we can hear, the last orders bell has well and truly rung. So we're going to have a bit of where we got. I can't see what I'm doing anymore in this office. I'm going to do a quick roll call of thanks to the guys that were down at the Liskeard Relay this weekend. As I say, in all good TV shows, no particular order, we have Carrie Richards. She is the event chair. She launched the whole event. She closed the whole event. Lawrence Jewell, he was logistics. He was making sure that the generator was full so I could be smoked up with diesel all evening. Kajal Lang, she was there. Jane Gimblett. Catherine Dirge, she's involved with the Candle of Hope. Sarah Page, Joy Parker, Mo Coley, Sarah Coley, Steve Gimblett, Charlotte Wilcox, Alex Putner, Della Lavers and Chris Lavers, not forgetting, very, very importantly, the lovely lady Sophie Barber. She was from Council Research UK and she helped put it all together down there. I think you agree. It was an absolutely cracking evening. Well, that is it for this evening. We're going to play one more track to play us out. And it's a good one. It's a bit of Kylie. She can't get blue money out of her head. Well, that is it. There is no more. Make sure you catch me same time this week for much, much more of the same. In the meantime, jump onto Phluid Records.co.uk and search all the old stuff we did. Jump on the Mixcloud and stuff.